Happy New Year, folks. It is 2020. I'm headed to the gym right now. I'm going to check my weight when I'm there. I have a feeling I am up. Last time I checked it, it was 211.4 on the last video I did. And I did meal prep everything, get back on track, but I did have some sushi last night and udon, and a couple of friends went out like early supper before Aaron went to work. And anyway, I have a feeling that I'm gonna be up further than that. And anyway, I'm gonna do a back workout. I'm gonna try to get maybe not all of it on the vid, but I'm gonna try to do that. And yeah, got some new tires. Oh, there you go. Oh yeah. Those ever make a difference? I got about over 300 pounds of weight in the box too. So the roads were really slippery last night. And coming back, I went out for a rip, and they were fine. So yeah. BF Goodrich, KO2s, all-terrain, they're good. All right, folks, see you at the gym. Moment of truth. January 1st, 2020. Oh, 217.8. So that's 11, almost 12 pounds. No, 21 pounds? Oh, jeez. I haven't had a meal yet today. Well, I had a little shake for breakfast, so yeah, that's why I'm feeling big. About almost 22 pounds, so 10 days. Alrighty, so we're just going to do a little voiceover on the workout. So first exercise was supposed to be seated cable row. However, just due to availability, I jumped onto a fixed row, pronated, so palms down, and trying to keep the elbows high, so working a little bit of the upper portion of the back and controlling the eccentric on the way down, working up to what was hard for 10 and moving on. So next, I was doing a close grip pull down, cable pull down. Now the way these handles were set up, I couldn't really get a good stretch at the top, but what was really good about the supinated grip, independent hand grip pull down was I was able to keep a lot of tension on the lats, and that at the end of the day was the goal of this workout. Next, really trying to get a nice stretch through the lats, so I'm working with pull overs. So 3 sets of dumbbell pull overs, and you should be reaching about failure at 10. So just working the stretch and coming up to just about the forehead. Next, we're going to move into rack pulls now. Again, this was supposed to be on the power racks, but due to availability, I did them on the Smith machine, and it's fine. It's not like I'm doing squats or deadlifts, but the focus here is really just bang the lats up as hard as I can. Now, interesting set. It was one set. You're doing 15 repetitions with a 30-second break between each rep, just ensuring that you can really give your all to each rep and then setting down. So obviously I didn't record all 15 reps or we'd be here all day, but I'm just showing you what the 2 is. And this should be pulled from below the knee. Rack pulls above the knee, I find really don't do too much, so below the knee. And moving into pull-ups on the assisted pull-up machine. Nice, slow control. 3 sets here. We should be moving to close to failure at 8 reps. So really focusing on a nice stretch. All right, guys, stay tuned. December the 30th, second last day of the year. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Happy New Year, because I'll be releasing this after New Year's. So I just wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions, and I do think they get a bum rap. I like to engage with people and ask them, what are your goals for next year? If I do say resolutions, instantly negative feedback. But if I say goals, it's different. So usually I say, hey, you got any New Year's resolutions? No, I think those are stupid. If you want to get something done, you should be doing it already. Or I don't want to set myself up for failure, so I'm not even going to bother. So those are the 2 ones I get. But if I say if you have any goals for next year, some people do drop a little bit further. So goals for 2020. I think it's very powerful to have a start date. I did an article about 4, maybe 5 years ago on motivation. And that can be a very useful tool to have a hard start and a hard stop for you. If you have a deadline, you're more likely to accomplish something. So if you know that you're going to be stopping potato chips, January 1st, you're going 30 days without potato chips, you do have that cutoff. There is some power mentally knowing this. So, and the fact that, all the connotations with being a new year, 2020, new you, fresh start, all those things do have power. So I think it's great to set goals, having clarity on what you want to get accomplished the following year. Ever since I graduated university 100 million years ago, I've always set goals in the new year. It could be something small, and I might do it multiple times because I really want to work at it. So I'll tell you some goals that I set last year, how I did out with them. But for example, one of my goals that I usually have as a resolution is to eat more fish. Why? Because it's good for us. So for health, eat more vegetables is always in there. And why? For health. So for example, with the fish, the last 2 months I've introduced salmon, like wild Pacific salmon, at least 2 times a week for the last 2 months. I've had a lot more sushi this year than I did last year. Other things. So I'm going to keep the salmon train going. I'm going to, I've had tuna, blah, 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 blah. But I think, just keeping that in, it is for health. And then vegetables, I did really well this year with veggies. So those are 2 goals that I did. One of my other goals was to read more. I know it sounds weird to read more. I do read a lot. I read textbooks, articles, like journal, scholarly articles, things published on fitness pages. I wanted to get more into books and broadening my scope, leadership, development, some fiction, stuff like that. So 32 books. I read some books multiple times. The year before, I can honestly say under 10 for sure. So massive improvement. It's still in. I want to beat that 32, so I'm going to read more than that. I wanted to do a show this past year. I did a show. I wanted to place top 5, and I did place 5th. So that was also a goal. And can you see Jax? Oh, there he is. Hi, Jax-a-doo. So that was another goal I accomplished. Wanted to take my vacation time at work. Normally I do not, especially when I was a personal trainer. I did not. I did take my vacation. I took 2 vacations, and it was great because I wasn't on a vacation probably a couple years. I think those were the majority of my goals. Had some financial stuff, blah, blah, blah. But I was pretty successful. One goal that I didn't hit, I wanted to get 2 deer. This past hunting season did not accomplish that. Okay, so 2020, what do I want to do? Read more than 32 books. 1, continue with the fish. 2 times a week, every week, at least. Veggies, keeping the veggies in. The veggies that I'm eating right now are mainly like spinach, carrots, peppers, but anything else, really. Green vegetables are great for you. So I wanted to increase my investing. So do that. Go down south possibly. Do another show. And this is like the 3rd take. I got in a rant on the last one because I was talking to Aaron, and right now we're prepping for Atlantics. She did mention about a natural show, which I'm more than pumped up to go for. It's July 11th. Reason being is I'm natural, so I might as well do a natural show. I was talking to Coach Greg. This was like probably 3 years ago after I won the ECC. And I said, hey, I want to ramp my training up. Interested in coaching. I want to do provincials back when you needed to do ECC to move to provincials. And he goes, okay, that's awesome. But why don't you do a natural show? I was like, well, I don't know anyone doing those shows. So I like doing shows with people I know because it's more fun. And he's like, well, if you want to do better, then do a natural show. I'm like, okay, well, yeah. So I'd be super happy on doing that. Anyway, I got into a big rant on, hey, it's your body, do what you want. But I train for longevity and health. So I'm going to stop the rant before it starts. But it was about just basically making more informed decisions and people not maybe understanding the gravity of their decisions at such a young age. We're only given this one body, right? So we should want to do things to promote health, not potentially crash it. So doing a show this year, or 2020 doing a show. Get a bear. I want to get a bear this next hunting season. And so those are my major goals. So folks, I think there's something worth looking into. You still have time to get a goal in mind, whether it's drink more water. That's a great goal. Drink more water. I think we all can use that. Drink less caffeine. Do less social media. That's a good goal, right? Be off Instagram, Facebook a little bit more. Interact with people one-on-one more. Meditate. That's also one of my goals. I'm going to be meditating 10 minutes a day again. I think that's good. And I'm going to vlog more about different things. Like, for example, I might follow Mark Wahlberg's routine for a day and let you know how I make out with that. Because his routine's quite crazy. He gets up at 2:30 in the morning. And then he does like prayer at 3, then breakfast, and he's at the gym by 4:30. He's out of the gym by 6 and eating meatballs. So I don't know, but that might be fun to watch. So there's lots of great things you can do. Doesn't have to be like a year that you think everything's going to change, but if you really think about it, one of the books that I read this year was On the Day by Aubrey Marcus. I think that's what his name is. He founded On It, which is just a company that wants to maximize potential, like health, productivity, stuff like this. And he just basically wants you to make small changes one day, carry it over, and then continue building on that. But you can apply that concept on a larger scheme to a whole year. So if
or 5 years, right? So, you know, if in 2020 you are just going to create the habit to January, you're drinking water. February, you are starting to move 15 minutes extra a day. March, you are going to the gym, right? April, you are starting to clean up your diet. May, you're meditating 10 minutes. June, you decide to take yoga up twice a week. By the time you got to July, look at all the changes you made. And that's not even crazy amount of goals. I think that's sustainable, but you just start with your drinking water, and then you start moving more, and then you start going to the gym. So all these small changes, if you're constantly setting goals year on year, like 2019 to 2020, 2021, looking back, you've accomplished a hell of a lot. So Rome wasn't built in a day. I think there's value in trying to improve yourself every year. And if anybody says resolutions are stupid, tell them they're wrong and just watch what you do. Alrighty, folks. Cheers.